Hey YouTube, it's me, Novarius, and today I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to pitch a story. In fact, I want to pitch a sci-fi fantasy story. I'm not 100% sure of how it's going to turn out because I would like to have some chat interaction. If you would like to come over to twitch.tv/Novarius, we can interact together whenever I'm live, of course. Um, for now though, I'm gonna do my best and actually give you my pitch. Right. So starting off, we are in definitely in the future, right? Sci-fi. It's future. Space travel has been unlocked, and there is an experimental spaceship out there near a black hole doing experiments. Humanity at this point has discovered some stuff, right? It's fine. They've been expanding throughout our galaxy, and yeah, there's one spaceship that has been doing some experiments to leech off energy from black holes. Like they're military contract primarily, but they also have a lot of scientists and civilians on board. How many people are we talking about? I don't want to make it I would like to keep it contained. Mm, but we can dart around with that. I think that's less relevant because what I'm thinking of right now is that it's pretty big, and later on, like, we can have it so that one spaceship survives with a more selective crew with the characters that we want to flesh out, right? Anyway, what happens is this a scientist's experiment goes wrong. He's not a mad scientist or anything. He's just like a hardworking father, maybe. And yeah, he doesn't discover anything. But what happens is he miscalculates some sort of trajectory or whatever, which causes them to uh, use whatever experimental technology they have to be activated while going too close to the black hole. Maybe go into the black hole. I don't know. It's that's that's less relevant. What is relevant is that um, they go uh, through time and space to come back in a different timeline, not the same timeline, a different timeline, but in the same galaxy. And they don't realize this at first. They don't even know what happened, right? They're not quite sure. They they might exit out of a white hole, but they don't even know what that is. They haven't seen it yet, or maybe they have in this sci-fi world. Because right now it's just theoretical what a white hole is. But those are all minor details, right? We want to continue on. So they are definitely in the past, but in a different timeline entirely. So we don't, like, as a viewer, we wouldn't know yet what is going on, and we would kind of discover it alongside the crew. That's kind of the vibe I want to give. And then they start learning about, oh, we don't have any connections to maybe the mothership or our communication array. Like there was nothing out there, it seems. And they start discovering, oh, there's nothing on this planet that we colonize, like helped colonize, or that we come from. Maybe that all had a colony already on it, and they want to go home, right? That might be their home. They go there and they realize, oh, there's no one here, right? Their ship is badly damaged, perhaps, and it's probably now that we already have this select crew. We can still dart around with that, but they then think, well, what is going on? It seems like there is no trace of this colony. It looks like there was never one here. At this point, they probably also realize that a lot of planets are in different locations, like as if time was reversed, right? But they're like you wouldn't draw that conclusion immediately. So yeah, there's a lot of fun we can have and things we can play with there. Continuing on, they eventually figure out, oh, there is nothing. Well, the first planet that we came from is Earth. Let's see if there's something there. Let's try to communicate with them. They go there, and then that's when they realize, looking down at the planet, they got some telescopes that can look down, give a nice visual on screen. That's, again, details, but that's when they realize we are back in time. And immediately we can think of so many interesting plot elements. Also, what time period are we back in? I'd say like early Middle Ages kind of era. That seems like the model I have in mind, but could be earlier. That also be cool. Maybe pre-Egypt, right? So they realize this, and then immediately some fundamental questions come to mind, like can we interact with this timeline? Being here, does that change anything? If we are here, just being here, like, does that not only change anything, but does that mean that whatever we do, we will always end up here, like in this timeline also? Or like we can play around with these paradoxes, and like just them thinking about all the things that could go wrong. Of course, they don't know at the start, at least, that it doesn't really matter. This is a different timeline entirely. It's not exactly the same. It's very similar, but not exactly the same than their timeline. So you're starting to get this, right? Because eventually they decide, well, our ship, like in our ship, we're gonna last about like 20 years, right? Because of the maybe less, maybe give more time constraint. It's fine. That might make a nice drama element, to reduce the amount of time they have on the ship and that they have to land. Because one of the thoughts is, well, if we land, we will probably not be able to get off Earth, because we know gravity, like, is pretty, and the atmosphere is pretty hard to get away from Earth's. But eventually they go down, despite all the debates that go on amongst the crew, who have been developing over time. And then we can play around with so many different elements. How are these two cultures gonna interact? I mean, they don't speak the same language, right, at the start. And if you like are just a farmer on this world, right, on Earth at that time, like, you're not gonna believe them. So, and they know they're not gonna be believed. So they have to fit in with the culture, right? They have to kind of make their way in, and we can, like, there's so much juice in there that we can exploit. And at this point, I would also like to add that if anyone from the audience has any additions they would like to make, please feel free to throw them at me. Like, even when I'm speaking, just tell me, like, I'd like to see that. For instance, someone says, aren't the farmers gonna see a giant spaceship dropping down? Yeah, that's a good point. But at the same time, depends on where they land. It's not like they would know, oh, there's something coming down from space that looks like a spaceship. No, they'd see, like, oh, it's probably a comet, which the farmers would have seen that before, right? It wouldn't amaze them. They would tell people about it. Oh, we saw a comet again. It went that away. But we assume here that wherever these people land, like, they have like spot an isolated place where they can place their spaceship, however big that is. Yeah, but if they really wanted to prove that they were from outer space, I guess you make a good point. They could, because they have all this technology with them. But that is actually what I wanted to come to. maybe the people on that spaceship realize, oh, we're stuck here. All our family friends, they're all gone. We have to make a new life here. How do we want to go about this? Do we want to become like powerhouses, basically? You know, get all the power. Maybe we can bring peace on Earth before technology goes so far that it's impossible to do that, right? Um, there's a lot to play with there, and I thought of this scenario, and I really like it. I really like it, so I thought I'd share it. And if you like it too, feel free to comment down below. Tell me all about how awful of an idea this is, and how it would never work, and all that. But if you're not a Debbie Downer and you actually like to fantasize, feel free to fantasize with me and give me some of your fantasy juices. That came out wrong, didn't it?